When I got this packet here, it doesn't come with a closure, so I ventilated 2x6 king clip closure, make a clip fringe for it, and I style it in 8 different ways. If you have interest in how I style it, please keep watching. The name of this packet here is Kuza. It comes in 4-in-1 bundles. It's a single drawn hair, which means the weft of the hair is thicker than the tips of the hair, and the shorter part of the hair is almost the same thing with the longer part of the hair. This is the 6x6 lace closure I want to use for the hair ventilation. I cut it myself. I've already removed one of the hair bundles off camera, so I'm going to use the same method I used for the PC cut wig. Instead of using the common method of cutting the rest of the hair, and use your hand to remove the shorter parts to waist. All you have to do is to use your take comb to comb the shorter parts upward. Then use your scissors to cut the longer part out, because we only need the longer part for the hair ventilation. After cutting, you will use your take comb to comb the shorter part out. You can use that for PC cut wig later. So the next thing to do now is to start your hair ventilation. I've already placed the net on the mannequin head and use surface pin to secure it so that it will not be lifting up when I start the hair ventilation. And also, I've already started the hair ventilation off camera. I'm going to explain the method I use. Since the closure is human hair, I'm going to be using double knot method with no hole, one line. What I mean by that is that when you ventilate one hole, you will not skip any hole. You will ventilate every hole on that net, and you are going to leave just one line in between, which is no hole, one line. You know, I always use one hole, one line for all my hair ventilation, but this one I want the closure to be as full as possible, and I'm using 2 strands. I don't want it to be scanty. That's why I decided to leave no hole at all, but I leave one line to make it have that natural look. For the double knot method, you pass your pin through the net, bring out 2 strands of hair, wrap your pin through the hair, and knot it twice. This method will secure it. It will not be loosening up after hair ventilation, because this is a woman hair. I don't want to take much time on this hair ventilation, so I've already finished the base of the hair here. You can see how everything is full, and you can hardly see the knot of the hair. For the pattern of the hair ventilation I followed, I used the diagonal method because it's more natural than that vertical method and horizontal method. I intentionally zoomed these parts out so that you can have a closer look of what I'm explaining. I'm done with one side of the closure here. You can see how full and natural it looks like it's full and natural at the same time. So the next thing to do now is to ventilate the center part. The way you ventilate your center part depends on how wide you want your center part to be. For this particular tutorial, I only leave one line because I don't want the closure to be too wide. It depends on your choice. You can either leave 2 lines or 1 line. So I'm going to do the rest of the closure ventilation off camera because I don't want this video to be unnecessarily long. This is how it looks like when I'm done with the whole ventilation. You can see how natural it looks like, and you can see the center part is not wide at all. After the closure ventilation, we are left with 3.5 bundles. The next thing to do now is wigging and styling. First thing you need to do is to place your wig cap on the canvas head. Then after that, you are going to place your closure on the wig cap and use T-pin to secure it, so that it will not be lifting up when you start sewing. For the closure section, I'm going to be using hand sewing, and the back section I'm going to be using machine sewing. When sewing the closure part with hand, make sure you are knotting it just once because we want the part to look as flat as possible. I'm done with the sewing here. You can see how neat it is. Make sure you trim the excess lace before you sew the back section. Place your tape rule at the back section and use T-pin or office pin to secure it. And pick your metallic pen to mark 1 inch from the back section. When you are closer to the front, you will change from 1 inch to ½ inch. Either you want to use hand sewing or machine sewing, all you have to do is to follow the line you drew at the back section. I'm sorry guys, I didn't record the part where I used machine to sew the back section, but this is how it looks like when I'm done sewing it using sewing machine. So all you have to do is to cut the excess wig cap under the lace closure and make sure you do not cut it closer to the closure so that you will not mistakenly cut your closure. When I'm done with the sewing, I wore it on this long mannequin head before I use my clipper to trim it. I like using this type of mannequin head for trimming blunt cut wig because it always gives accurate results. And this is how it looks like when I'm done trimming. You can see how rhymed the tips is I've not straightened the wig because remember we are styling it in 8 different ways. So I will do the straightening later. The next thing I want to do now is to make a fringe clip. For this fringe clip, I'm going to make in two types. One will be fuller than the other. One is for my sister and one is for me. We are going to be using the same nets we use for the air ventilation. For the fuller one, we are going to measure 3 inches at the top and 2 inches at the down section, which will be like 3 by 2 nets. For the second one, you are going to measure 2 inches at the top and 1 inch at the down section, which will be like 2 by 1 closure net. And this is how you will join the two lines. You will draw 3 to 5 lines in between depending on how full you want that clip fringe to be. The lines I drawn between 3 by 2 fringe clips and 2 by 1 is almost the same. The only difference between them is that double weft that only comes to the hair, you are going to divide it into 2 equal parts, just like I'm doing in this video. Then you are going to be using one line to sew. You are going to use for that 2 by 1, and for the what is it called, for 3 by 2, you are going to use that double weft so that it can become more fuller. To cover the sewing part, ventilate like ½ inch over that sewing part so that everything will look natural, as you can see in this video. For the sewing parts, you can either use your hand or your sewing machine. For this particular tutorial, I use my sewing machine to sew it. So when you are done doing that, you are going to place your fringe clip on the mannequin head and use your pin to secure it. Then separate small section from the side of the hair, then cut it to your desired length. You can either use scissors or razor comb to cut it. When you are cutting it, make sure it's not too short. So I'm going to be using my razor comb to trim it so that I can have that natural effect. This is how the fuller one looks like after trimming, and this is how the scanty one looks like after trimming. I forgot to mention, for the fringe clips, I did not use part of the hair because you remember the hair is single drawn hair. It will be more scanty if I use part of the wig for the fringe clip, especially when I'm using 2 fringe clips from the hair. I use some of the hair I have at home to make the fringe clips. When I'm done trimming both hair, so I have to continue by using my straightener to straighten it. This is the scanty one after straightening it, and this is the fuller one after straightening it. And these are both compared to each other. I've already straightened the hair off camera, which is the first style, so I apply hair serum on it. Then I use my wax stick on the closure part only, and I use the hot comb to press the flyaway hair on the closure part down. If you are still watching till now and you haven't liked my video, please like this video to support this channel. Thank you. And this is how it looks like when I'm done with the first style, which is straight hair. And to make the second style, I apply the fringe clips on the front section, then I pin it down. And for the fringe clips, I'm only going to be using the less fuller one because I've given my sister the fuller one. And this is the second style, which is a straight wig with a bang or a straight wig with a fringe. For the third style, I'm going to style it as a bob wig. We are going to be straightening the hair section by section, but when you are straightening the hair, when you reach the tip of the hair, you are going to bob it a little bit. That's how you'll be styling it until you reach the closure part. Please don't forget to drop a comment if you have any question. And this is how the third style looks like, which is the bob wig. To make the fourth wig, all you have to do is to apply your fringe clip at the front to give it a different look. For the fifth style, which is a flat coils, the styling is almost the same as bob wig, but the only difference is that when you are styling the right side, you bob it to the left, and when you are styling the left side, you bob it to the right. So I'm going to leave you to watch how I style it. And that's how you will continue doing it until you reach the closure part. So this is how the fifth style looks like. So to make the sixth style, all you have to do is to apply the fringe clips on the front section so that I can give it that different style. For the seventh style, we are going to be coiling the hair. So we'll be using heatless coiling method. So first thing you need to do is to spray water on the hair. Then you will use your flexibles to coil it section by section until you reach the closure part. The method you use in coiling your hair determines the results you will get. For this particular hair, I'm going to be coiling it from tips and roll it upward. And this is how you will continue coiling it until you reach the last one on the closure part. And this is how it looks like when I'm done coiling everything. Because it's a heatless coiling method, you are going to leave it for some days before you remove it. If you leave it for a very long time, it will become more coiler and it will last longer. When you are done removing the flexibles from the hair, you can use your hand to separate the coils, or you can use this type of comb to comb it out. After that, you will apply your wax stick on the closure part only, then use your hose comb to press it down. Make sure you only use your hose comb to press the closure part down, because if you use the hose comb to comb the rest of the hair, everything will become straight. Remember, it's a straight hair. And this is how it looks like when I'm done styling. You can see how beautiful it is. So this is the seventh style. To achieve the eighth style, all you have to do is to apply your fringe clips on the closure part, and you can see how beautiful it is when I'm done applying the fringe clips on the closure part. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. If you haven't liked this video, please like this video to support this channel. Drop a comment if you have any question, share with your friends, and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop another beautiful video. See you in my next video. Bye.